Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Let's just get right into it. Jermall Charlo basically is at his media day and states that he would like Danny Jacobs to be ringside at the Barclays Center. Basically, just to watch his fight and to see, if Danny Jacobs would be willing to get in the ring. Maybe, these guys can go back and forth and try to get the fight done. And I admire that from Jermall Charlo, guys trying to come in and wants the big fights, or at least appears to. And so I can always respect that. But let's just be 100% honest, unbiased, and clear about all of this. And that is, if we're 100% honest, Danny Jacobs is a world champion. And Jermall Charlo is basically a contender, a top-level contender, a guy that we think is very good, a very good contender, but he's not an elite level opponent. He's not a big payday, and he's not a world champion. So what sense would it make for a world champion who has a proven resume and who's established at the top level of the 160-pound division? Why would a world champion go sit ringside for a contender? That makes absolutely no sense to me. Yes, Danny Jacobs was ringside for Saul Canelo Alvarez, but Canelo Alvarez is an elite level opponent and a world champion, and also the biggest payday you can get in boxing. Jermall Charlo is none of those things. He's not a world champion. He's not a huge payday, but he could be a potentially big fight. For the fact that Danny Jacobs, if he takes that fight, if he can't get Canelo Alvarez, if he can't get Canelo Alvarez or Triple G, Jermall Charlo would be a very good fight. A lot of people would love to tune in and see that. And so, unlike Dante's Bias Nation, I actually had a subscriber send me a audio clip of Dante's Bias Nation. And in that audio clip, you basically had DBN come on and basically state that, Canelo and the whole 160-pound division fears Jermall Charlo. And what is there to fear about Jermall Charlo? He is becoming so hyped, and this narrative is going so far that people can't really even appreciate how talented Jermall Charlo really is. Jermall Charlo has a good punch, has a very strong jab, has decent foot movement, but he does not appear to be an elite level fighter as of yet, and he hasn't proven anything at 160 pounds. So for all these guys to come out here and hype Jermall Charlo, it really makes it hard on him when he steps in with a guy like a Danny Jacobs, who could possibly dominate him from beginning to end in that fight, because Danny Jacobs can box. He can hit at an elite level with power. And so Danny Jacobs is the total package. We don't even know what Jermall Charlo is or what level he's at as of right now. We know a couple things about him. We know that he couldn't get Austin Trout out of the ring. We know he couldn't cut the ring off, and we know he wasn't strong enough to get rid of Austin Trout. These are things that we know. So let's be 100% honest and unbiased about who Jermall Charlo is. But also, in regards to Jermall Charlo wanting Danny Jacobs ringside, I can admire that. But, if Danny Jacobs does come ringside, maybe that fight can happen. I highly doubt it would happen, because once again, why would a world champion go ringside for just a contender? That makes no sense. Now, if Jermall Charlo really wanted to make a statement, he should have been ringside at Canelo's fight. If Jermall Charlo really wanted to make a statement, he should have been ringside at Danny Jacobs' last two fights, but he wasn't. See, part of the boxing game is talking it, but also walking it. Yeah, Jermall Charlo talks a good game. He calls out the big names, he screams and he yells, but is he actually walking it? How many Canelo Alvarez fights has he been at ringside? How many Danny Jacobs fights has he been at ringside? You see what I'm saying? This is the inherent bias in this fake bias new media movement, where they hype up a guy, they act like a guy is doing everything he can to want to fight, but yet he's doing nothing to go out and actually get this fight done. If he wanted that Danny Jacobs fight, he should have been at Danny Jacobs' last fight against Sergey Deverenchenko, where he won the world title, and he could have been sitting ringside, because Danny Jacobs did call for him after that fight. That would have set up a perfect opportunity to make that fight happen, but he wasn't there. Was he? Because he does not really want that fight. Let's be honest and unbiased about all of this. Once again, it's the Ibfp. Please share, like, and you must absolutely subscribe.